Morning. While discussing about the socio-religious reform movement, we discussed lot of information regarding the reformers and what kind of reformation they did it and the movements they started, and even we discussed some important reformers also. In that line, the last two is Ambedkar and Gandhiji. Open B.R. Ambedkar. The last Ambedkar and Gandhiji, then we shall go to next topic. Yes, he was born in Bombay province. Actually, don't confuse with Maharashtra and Bombay province. Maharashtra is small, present day Maharashtra. Bombay province was much bigger. After third Anglo-Maratha war, the British got very much huge territory called Bombay province. So don't confuse with Maharashtra and Bombay province. So Bombay province was much bigger, including Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh. Actually, I said Bombay province. Actually, if you see that Ambedkar, as of now, that part is related to Madhya Pradesh. Actually, there is a place in Madhya Pradesh called Mau. Even today, it's an army establishment is there. Mau. Actually, exactly in this place, that too near Mau, there is a place called Ampavati. It's like a village. That was the birthplace of Ambedkar. So as of now in Madhya Pradesh, but erstwhile Bombay province. Why I am saying Ambedkar? His name is Bhimrao. Later he added Ambedkar. So if I ask the person who is Bhimrao, no one knows. But if I said Ambedkar, all knew. Ambedkar is not real name. Later he added. Two reasons are there. One is the birthplace called Ampavati. Ampavati is a place near Mau. Even Ambedkar movie, if you see, Hindi movie is there, if you see, his journey start with that railway station of Mau. With that only his journey start. Okay, that is the first thing. Another reason for the name Ambedkar is how Bhimrao became Ambedkar is Ambedkar, not his real name, then his teacher name actually. His teacher name is Ambedkar, who was responsible for upliftment of giving education to Bhimrao. So he loved teacher, took his name, so Bhimrao became Ambedkar. This kind of information definitely you should know of this. So Ambedkar belonged to present day Madhya Pradesh, erstwhile Bombay. He himself was from the lower caste called Mahar communities there in Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra. As of now, this is very famous community, lower community. And from the lower community, he started to rise. This is what many would say, I was born in lower community. They would simply say and would criticize the society because of social norms. I was not at all uplifted. He never said. Rather than he came out from the clutches and did a PhD. Not now. It's 100 years before or 80 years before he did it. Came out, studied, right, and became very great. And not only studied, he wanted for upliftment of such a lower community. Even do you know the word Dalit was given by Ambedkar? Note it down. The word Dalit. Actually, Dalit in which language? Which language the word Dalit? Type it. Now, Dalit in which language? Yes? Actually, it's a Marathi word. Actually, it's an Arabic word also. Actually, it's a Marathi word. Okay, Dalit. Right? Dalit means broken. That is the meaning of Dalit. Okay? So, he was the person first to use the word Dalit. Not only that. So, what is the name? As of now, we use, do you know? We use some caste name for scolding the people. Not even Tamil Nadu, even in other states also this kinds of customs are there. We use some lower community caste name for scolding the people. Especially in Tamil Nadu, you could see we are frequently using. Yes? No, you are not like that. You are Dalit, oppressed, broken. That is a plain meaning of Dalit. So he was the first to use the word. Second, to uplift, he started organization. You're right. What is organization is All India Scheduled Caste Federation. Second association, All India Depressed Class Association. Scheduled Caste Federation, another is All India Depressed Class Association. These two organizations were started by him. He also started a political party, right? He also started a political party. Name is Free Labor Party. Free Labor Party. These are all already UPSC question. And what I am discussing is a 10 mark, 12.5 mark question in 2015 or 16 mains. Already prelims as well as it's a 12.5 mark. What is the question is, give a comparative analysis between Ambedkar and Gandhiji. Exact, this is a UPSC question. Difference. Okay, so this is what Ambedkar. Actually, mains history should be like this. Many said that what about the history optional, so and so. These are all the outline. We don't want exact year, when he was born, what place, immaterial to us. Right, for optional history, this is the method of writing. Right, so here, this is what. Now, how did means one side is organization. Now, what is ideology of Ambedkar? Listen, is Ambedkar, this is ideology, opposed untouchability. Note it down. This is all important. He opposed casteism. He opposed Varna. He opposed Hinduism also. All the four tier, he opposed it. Okay, actually, this is the difference between Ambedkar and Gandhiji. Here I have to mention about it. So keep it in mind. Gandhiji opposed untouchability. Not only Gandhiji, all the people, including me, including you, all are opposing untouchability. So there is no doubt at all. But regarding casteism, Varnaism and Hindu religion, some opposed, some accepted. In that, Ambedkar accepted, rejected all. Why? Kim? Yes, listen. Listen, this is important. He started to examine what is the why untouchability. Listen, why untouchability is because of casteism. So base for untouchability is casteism. So I oppose caste because casteism is one of the ugly impact is untouchability. Okay, why casteism? Because of Varna. So base of the casteism is Varna. So I oppose Varna. Why Varna? What is the base? Hindu religion. So I oppose Hindu religion also. Oh, Dalit people, hereafter don't follow Hinduism. Let us embrace into Buddhism. So that's why write it in 1956, just 1 year before his death. In 1956, nearly 5 lakh Dalit people at Nagpur converted into Buddhism, including Ambedkar. Including Ambedkar. Understood? This is very important. Nearly 5 lakh Dalit people converted. That's why if you go to Bombay, Nagpur region, many Buddhist people are there because of Ambedkar. What is the significance is single largest person who converted people into a particular religion. Even Jesus Christ converted 5 lakh people in Christianity. Questionable, not. Even Prophet Muhammad converted at a moment into 5 lakh people into Islam. Questionable. Why not? Even Buddha converted 5 lakh people into Buddhism. That itself is questionable. But who was a successful person? Yes, this Ambedkar. Actually, for mains, this is the method of writing in history. So don't mention factual information. Actually, if you write factual information in history, irritating actually. Irritating for the examiner, those who correct your answer. So actually this is the orientation actually for the optionals of the history. This is the method for writing. We want it's like a story. If I am reading your right just your paper, I should be in between line. I should be like Ambedkar. So this is Ambedkar's idea. So this is the method. Actually 2015-16 it's a 12.5 mark question. One side Ambedkar, other side is Gandhiji. Okay, and last point related to Ambedkar, you write it, but the explanation I will give it later. Ambedkar wanted separate electorate system. Write it. Ambedkar wanted separate electorate system. Here I am not going to discuss that system. We will discuss it later, much later. Okay. These are all the ideas of Ambedkar. That's all. Next, last reformer. Write it. Last but not the least is all in all. All in all rounder. Right. Is none other than it's like Ravindra Jadeja or a cricketer. Yes, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, MK Gandhi. Regarding biography of Gandhi, I will discuss in Gandhian phase. Gandhian phase of second part of history I will discuss. Here, related to socio-religious reform, I will examine it. No doubt, Gandhiji was a political reformer, social reformer, economic reformer. That's why I said. So, political, social, religious, economic reformer. He was not just the political reformer of starting non-cooperation movement and the civil disobedience movement. It was not like that. He was a reformer, and Gandhi himself is an idea actually. Gandhiji never took idea from any people. Gandhiji himself is an idea of himself. Himself an idea actually. Understood? Himself and fountainhead of such an ideology. So in that I just confined to socio-religious alone. The word Dalit was first used by Ambedkar means what was the word used by Gandhiji is that is the Harijan. Use the word. Write it. The word Harijan. So first time who used the word Harijan is Gandhiji. Use the word is Harijan. Right? Harijan. What is the meaning of Harijan? Is simple. Oh, lower class people, you cannot be called in the name of XYZ. No. Hari means God. Hari, Ram, likewise God. Jan means people. What is Harijan mean? You are the people or son of God. So son of God or people of God. That is a meaning. Like that the word. Because without knowing that throughout India, in all India perspective, we are using the word Harijan as well as Dalit. Actually, Harijan Dalit is not a particular community caste. All the SC people, so-called SC people, are either called by two names, Harijan or Dalit. Understood? Yes. So this is important. And next thing is, he started a newspaper. Even we discussed in newspaper. Next point. He started the newspaper. What is the newspaper name is Harijan. That is a newspaper name. Am I right? Second. Third, his organization is All India Harijan Sabha. The organization name is All India Harijan Sabha. Third. And the fourth, important, that's the second organization he started it, All India Untouchability League. 2019 preliminary question. All India Untouchability League. So these are all the organization and other work of Gandhiji. Last point, Gandhiji opposed separate electorate system. So Ambedkar wished supporter of separate electorate, but Gandhiji opposed separate electorate system. Why? What is the reason? That separate electorate system 1930s, after that we will discuss. That's all. With this, we successfully completed one of the foremost, the lengthiest, right, part called socio-religious reform movement. One or two preliminary questions, I assure. Every year there should be a 12.5 mark question. Keep it in mind. Without this unit, there is no mains question. Why I am saying is, this socio-religious reform movement is the base for not only history, this is the base for sociology also, especially Indian society. If you want to know Indian society, present day Indian society, so you should know of this. And even sociology optional, all this movement ideology would come. For example, they would ask SNDP movement in sociology, 10 mark question, optional question, 10 years before. SNDP movement, you have to explain about ideology wise. But if you don't know who started, from which community, if you don't know historical background, you can never study and write the ideology of SNDP movement in sociology. Actually, this unit will be helpful for history, not only the history optional, completely for sociology optional. Such a very important unit. That's all. Write the next unit. This unit is over. Write the next unit. Today I have to complete this unit, as well as at least I try to start 1857 revolt. After that, type the unit. What is the next unit? Yes, what's the next unit? Negatives. Negatives of the British. Yes. What are the negative reaction of the British? What is the unit name? Revolt, uprising, mutiny. These things are the negatives. So positive in the name of socio-religious reform movement, negatives in the name of the uprising, revolt and mutiny. So that is the unit. Yes. So we are here. So unit next is revolt, uprising, mutiny. This is the negative. Yes. Such a unit can be split into two. Here I split like this. You split like this. In what way you have to split it? Right. You split like this and write like this. One is civil, another is tribal revolt. One is civil revolt or tribal revolt. Otherwise, you could write like this also. Okay. So I completely divide this unit into two parts, civil and tribal revolt. Okay. Such a civil revolt I further classify into two. One is revolt of native ruler, another is the peasant. Another is the peasant. So how many part we are going to discuss in this unit is civil and tribal. Okay. The tribal revolt itself is divided into two. One is native ruler, another is peasant. So all together three part we have to discuss. One is native rulers revolt, peasants revolt, and another is tribal revolt. If we discussed the three, this unit is over. Actually, this unit is not at all studied by so many aspirants. But question would be asked from this because 6 lakh aspirant would write preliminary exam. But UPSC want only 13K, only 13K, 13,000 people for mains. But how many Ks are writing? Right, is 60. No, not 60. Right, yes. 60K. Not 60, 600K is writing. They wanted to eliminate you. UPSC's preliminary intention is not to include you. They wanted to eliminate you. So if you wanted to eliminate you means they would ask question where UPSC knew aspirant would not study such a unit. So one such a gray area is this we have to touch. Actually, these are all the topic where you would get more score. So keep it in mind. Listen, 100 question altogether GS 100 question. Answering 30 question is not at all a matter. Yeah, not at all a matter. Even if you didn't attend class, you would answer 25 to 30. Keep it in mind. All would attend of this. But what I am here is wanted to make you above 50. Out of 100, above 50. For that only we are taking the classes. Even some aspirant would have attended one prelims they would have scored 25 to 30 and would have considered, oh, if I just studied further, I would have cleared the prelims. This is the word normally a failed preliminary student would use it. If you just one step ahead, what is a one step ahead? Up to 30, that doesn't matter. The 30 to 50 is there, it is not one step ahead. It's a great forward leap. So we are discussing for this 50 plus. Your overall score would be 100 out of 200. Then only more chances to clear the prelims. This is one of the area where you could get more score when compared to normal student. Understood? Yes. Listen. Because of the British rule, may it be dual government system as introduced in Bengal, ugly. It may be due to the English, because after Macaulay minute English was introduced. What the government is speaking, common man never knew. What this Dora is saying, what this the British is saying, don't know. For example, right, if I am taking classes in Mandarin, that is a Chinese, how can I be your staff? What you would do, you would revolt. You would immediately send or call to that academy that, no, change the staff. Why you are revolting against me? Why you are revolting? Because my language and your language is entirely different. Here the culprit is English. For Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, English was good. But how many common men did like English in those times? What was that word spoken by British? They didn't. So started to revolt. Another reason is land revenue system. They started to extract Jamindari rights in Jamindar were the problematic. In Rayatwari and Mahalwari, money lender the problematic. They sucked the wealth of the blood of peasant, and that leech become like this, and the peasant become like this. Understood? So started to revolt. So because of the maladministration of the British Raj, many people started to behave negatively. They wanted to fight. They wanted to expel the British, not from India. They wanted to expel the British from their respective region. Keep it in mind. Because concept of India is recent. Very, very recent. That too, what is India we are doing after 1947, after leaving Pakistan, after 19 and Bangladesh area, that is India. Before that, there is no concept of India. Right? No concept of country. For me, what is the country? Is the Tamil Nadu is the country for me. For Bengali people, Bengal is their country. After this unification, after single constitution, single flag and single administration only, as of now is the concept of India. But at the time, since no concept of nationalism, each wanted to expel the British from their respective area. For example, Santal uprising, you might have very famous. Santals wanted to expel the British not from India. They wanted to expel British from Jharkhand or Rajmahal hill region. Otherwise, Chenchus are there in Nallamala hill region of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana region. They wanted to expel the British from their Nallamala hills, not from India. So, positive reformer wanted socio-religious reform movement. Negative people wanted to expel the British from their respective area. You have to note it down, these points. This is what? Negative reaction. Who revolted? Sir, native rulers revolted. Peasants revolted. Tribal people revolted. Later in 1857, Sipais also revolted. That's why it was called Sipai mutiny. That unit is different. So this is the method of studying this. I think I have given a framework. With that framework, we are entering into the factual information. First open this subunit, revolt of native rulers. revolt of native rulers. Yes, otherwise princely states. Princely state. That too, what kind of princely state is small princely state? Note it down. Princely state is small princely states. Actually, small, otherwise you could use the word petty. Petty kings. Petty kings or petty kingdom. Petty means small. Even in police station, if you go there and court, they would say petty cases. Petty cases means small. So 50 rupees is stolen. For that, he cannot be put in jail. Okay. So likewise, the small Indian rulers started to revolt. Why I am saying? Already we discussed big rulers revolt. Mir Qasim revolted. That led to Battle of Buxar. Next, Hyder Ali Tipu Sultan revolted. That led to the Anglo-Mysore War. That were a revolt of big princely states, big Indian ruler. But here is small Indian ruler. Normally a student would miss it. Here we have to touch it. Okay. So here question is, why? What is the reason? Kyun? What is the reason for such a revolt? Is these are all the reasons. So note it down, all the 5 points. Just with 1 or 2 line gap, if any extra information, I will give. If you write the 5 points, simple 5 points and 1 or 2 line explanation, 4 marks, right? And some example, 2 marks. Introduction, conclusion, that's all. Out of 10 marks, definitely you will get 7 marks, highest to score. This is the method. That's why I insist you to make it like a point. Better to put 1, 2, 3, so and so, and why, cause, consequence, am I right? Course of action. You have the template. Template is very, very important. Structurization. These things will be helpful for main to fetch more score. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we want score, right? Note it down, all the 5 reasons with small gap to write it further. Have all taken down? Taken? Yes. So first is loss of territory. You all people know what were the reasons for the loss of territory. Here, first is annexation. Under loss of territory, you write annexation. If this is a single word, with the annexation, you could write a lot. Even with the annexation, you could write a lot of things. Under annexation, 2 point. With war, and battle, another is without war and battle. With war and battle, already we discussed. With war and battle, without war and battle. What are all with war and battle? Then you have to go to and write the entire 5th unit. Am I right? Plasi, Baksar, Carnatic, Mysore, Maratha, so on, so blah blah blah. It would come like this. Without war and battle, subsidiary alliance, doctrine of law. Don't write it because already you have written twice. So no need of that one. So indiscriminate annexation. Okay. What happened is, listen, I am the Raja, princely state. Now my area was annexed, means now I became ex-Raja. Am I right? Ex-ruler. Ex-ruler means what? That's what second. I loss of prestige and title. So one after another. That's very easy. So loss of prestige because title. What is the title? When I was the Raja, I would take Raja Raja, Raja Kambira, Raja Martanda, great, or so and so, Badshah, Barak. Likewise, they would go for lines. But now I became ex-ruler, I lost my title. Since I became the ex-ruler, I lost prestige, everything. So that is the second. Third is loss of pension and ill treatment. Here particularly you people know, loss of pension wise. At least pension was given when I lost my territory. But even pension was not at all given later. It means that economic hardship. As a Raja, I have to maintain a huge family. I have to go for a huge expenditure. Am I right? I should invoke because so much of that highness I have to mention, hi-fi I have to mention. So what happened is loss of pension led to loss of economy. So I cannot maintain myself to some standard. So loss of pension. Next is ill treatments. So not only loss of pension, okay, pension wise economic loss, but ill treatment. What kind of ill treatment? So British, you made me as ex-ruler. Okay, leave it as such. Again and again, don't disturb me. Right, jailing me, otherwise capturing my, imprisoning my son and daughter, right? This is what ill treatment. And the last is refuse to pay tax, kisti or tributary. So listen, some of the small ruler or even big ruler refuse to pay. Actually here only some of the South Indian revolts would come. Many areas were under the control of British. Then British asked the local jamindars, that is an Indian jamindar, hereafter you have to pay tax to British. Such a local small ruler said that no, why should I pay tax? Who are you? You are an outsider. Right? Why should I pay tax? In that way, so they opposed. This is also a reason. And last is excess of British resident in royal court. Here, due to which concept you write it? Why? Excess of British resident in royal court means because of what concept? Right, type it. Subsidiary alliance, excellent. Okay, almost many, super, excellent. So because of a resident. So this is the method of writing for mains. In between gap, 1 or 2 example. Right, that's all. If you give it and write it for a page or two, over. So this is what, this is not just the history modern India class, and this is also what, how you have to prepare for mains. Structurization I am giving, flow chart I have given, concept, am I right? India map wise how you have to take notes, and next is point wise. Got it? Why is over. Next is some examples. So next you write it, some examples. Important revolted person. Important revolted persons. So many revolted persons are there, petty rulers, that is a small rulers, all are small rulers. So among them, few are highly notable. Highly notable people are this one, right? Don't write as such, okay? Wait it for my turn. First you write Policar. Policar's revolt. Policar's revolt. Don't write the name, okay? So I have to mention, then don't write as such. Here I have to explain. Polycars. Who are Polycars? Yes, right. In South India, write it. In South India, especially Tamil Nadu, Kerala, adjacent Karnataka, and some part of Andhra, southern part. Polycars. Ah, yes, very famous movie. What is the recent movie related to Polycar? Type. Ah, Saira Narasimha Reddy. Many type. Super. Good. That's related to Policar. This movie is exclusively related to Policar. Right. That's support of with other Policars. He tried to oppose the British. Right. So this is what Saira Narasimha Reddy is there. Watch. Definitely you will get an idea of the Policar system, Nayakar system. Under Nayakars only they worked it. Nayakar concept is famous in Vijayanagar kingdom. Got it? So Polycars were it's like a district level. It's like a whatever present day district, Amaravati district or West Godavari district, right, or Krishna district, or here if you come Kamam, Karimnagar, so and so. So likewise, here district level authority is called the Polycars because their jurisdiction is more than that. Okay. So in that so many Polycars revolted. In that, one of the Policar notably mentioned in all the book is, you write it, Kattaboman. Kattaboman, don't confuse with Kattappa. Kattappa is related to a slave, Bahubali movie, but here is related to Kattaboman. Actually, here the Kattaboman. If you are from Tamil Nadu, very famous. Even in Telugu also, Kattaboman movie is there. Veerapandya Kattaboman movie is there. Yes, Kattaboman's revolt. So why Polycars and Kattaboman revolted is they refused to pay tax. Actually, that is the core of Saira Narasimha Reddy. And in that movie, they used the word Kisti. Why should I pay Kisti? Here the word. That is the tax. So other name of the tax is called Kisti. It's an Arabic word, I think. We even today also throughout India we're using, especially in South India we're using. I don't know of northern part, south, right? That southerners are using of this, right? So many Polycars refused, including Kattaboman. So Kattaboman refused to pay. Why? Why? You are the white fellows. We are ready to pay only to the Indian ruler, not to that outsiders. In that way, many Polycars, including Kattaboman, refused. At last, what happened is his fort was attacked. The same thing, Saira Narasimha Reddy, applicable to all the Polycar story. Immediately, their fort was attacked. And what happened? When the fort was attacked, Saira Narasimha Reddy with the family escaped to forest. Same thing happened to Kattaboman. So Polycar story is one and the same throughout South India. No need to study. If you see the movie, over. Understood? Kattaboman also escaped and he was trying. At last, even in Saira Narasimha Reddy, how his own friend showed, am I right? Betrayed him and Saira Narasimha Reddy was captured. The same way here also happened. Kattaboman was captured by betrayal. Betrayal by his friend. So by his friend he was betrayed and he was captured. Last what happened in the movie, you might have seen that. Right, Saira Narasimha Reddy was about to hang, but later what happened is his head was beheaded. Here what happened is Kattaboman was hanged. That too Saira Narasimha Reddy movie, he was about to publicly hanged. Here also he was publicly hanged, right? Actually ditto related to all the Polycar. That's why I ask you to study the history, to watch movie. Even though I don't know much of Telugu, but I watched the movie in Telugu, I understood a lot of things. because I know history, even though I don't know much of the language. Got it? This is important. So, Polycars, South India, in that Kattoman. Okay. Next important is he belonged to Kattoman belonged to which area is Tinnaveli. You write it. Tinnaveli. Actually, now it is called Tirunelveli. Tirunelveli area in southern part of Tamil Nadu. Earlier it was called Tinnaveli Jilla. Jilla means district. Earlier no district collector. Earlier throughout India Jilla collector. Jilla means it's also Arabic or Persian word. It's a district. Okay. Over. Next important is Divan of uh, Travancore, Veluthambi. Second, you write Divan Veluthambi's revolt. Veluthambi's revolt. Yes. Divan. What is the position of Divan type? Finance. Exactly. Divan means finance. Not only finance, he was the prime minister. So finance minister in those time, for many a times acted as the prime minister also. So he was the Divan of which kingdom is the Travancore kingdom. Even I have written it. Note it down. Yes. Revenue collector. Divan means revenue collector. Finance minister was also revenue collector. So he was the Divan of Travancore state. Travancore Samasthan. Okay. Why? What was the reason for this revolt? Note down the years also. Years also important. Divan Veluthambi of Travancore state. What was the reason means? You write it. The state signed subsidiary alliance. The state signed subsidiary alliance and the excess interference of British resident. Even early slide I mentioned about it. Here you could see excess interference of the British resident. So here British resident. So here problem in the Travancore state is Travancore state signed subsidiary alliance, but over torture of this residents. That's why he got tension. What nonsense you are doing? So Raja didn't fight. Rather than the Divan started to fight. Called the even in that stamp here exactly Divan Veluthambi. But you see here is the Divan Veluthambi. In this his stamp is right. It's a very important person. What happened is right. He was defeated. You write it. He was defeated by British and he escaped to forest. And he escaped to forest because Kerala is well known for dense forest area and escaped to forest. And why not? Even from forest also he was doing revolt. Even from forest also he was doing revolt, but he was killed in the forest. Actually, a British sent the force and he was killed in the forest. Okay. Now you listen, it's important. He was killed already in the forest. But what happened is the dead body was taken and he was again publicly hanged. You just imagine. The dead body was again publicly hanged. So already dead man was again forced to hanged. That to publicly underline the word. Underline the word publicly. Why revolt? My question is why revolted leaders were publicly hanged? Type it. Type it. Why? Why? What is the reason? Yes, exactly right. So what is the reason is to create fear. What kind of thing means, you see the people, common man, this is the end fate of your ruler. Even for the ruler, this is the ugly end. If you committed any mistake, that's all, you will be cut into pieces. That's why if you see Sarya Narasimha Reddy publicly, cut a woman publicly, even Diwan Velutambi, he already died. The dead body was again hanged. 2007 or 18 preliminary question, I think. Which of the following leader was already died, was again hanged publicly? The answer is Diwan Velutambi. Taken? Next, you come to here, Kittur uprising. Kittur uprising. I expect this question because here a woman participated, Rani Channamma. Rani Channamma participated, a woman in 1820s. So where is Kittur? Kittur is located in Uttar Karnataka, the northern Karnataka, in Hubli or Belgaum district, a small portion, a small princely state called Kittur. Don't confuse with Chittur. Chittur in Andhra, here is the Kittur. Okay, a small princely state in Uttara Karnataka called Kittur. Yes, listen. In that the Raja was there. Right? A Raja. Wife is Rani Channamma. Now listen, Raja name, you want Rutra Desai, it would come like this. Okay? So Rani Channamma. And the couple had a son. So Raja, wife name is Rani Channamma, and the couple had a son. What happened is the Raja died. After the death of Raja, right, what happened is, right, this was annexed by the British. You write it. After the death of the ruler, this area was annexed by the British by applying doctrine of misgovernance. You write it. By applying doctrine of misgovernance. Now you link it. We already studied of doctrine of misgovernance. Dalhousie used it in annexing which place? Doctrine of misgovernance. Type. Awadh. Super. But much before Dalhousie annexed the Awadh, one Governor General, 1820s, who was the Governor General? It may be Lord Hastings, but don't write. I'll check it. Okay, you also check it. So much before Dalhousie, doctrine of misgovernance was used in Kittur. So Kittur was completely taken over by the British. Against that only the widow queen, keep it in mind. Near Rani Chandama, you write it. The widow queen fought against the British. This is important. Because many are considering that Rani Lakshmi Bai was the first to participate, women to participate to fight against British. Wrong. Much before Rani Lakshmi Bai in 1857, Manikarnika. Before that itself, Rani Channamma was there. Even much before that, from Tamil Nadu, Velu Nachiyar was there. So many women participated even much before Rani Lakshmi Bai. Understood? So this is expected question. UPSC may ask it. That is called Kittur uprising. Taken at last, Rani Channamma was jailed. Channamma was jailed. This is what. And late in jail he died. She died. And next is you write Ahom revolt. So many revolt here. Few I explained. Okay, going to explain. Next is Ahom revolt. Yes, Ahom kingdom in Assam. In Assam region, who participated, ruled is Ahom. So Assam, Ahom kingdom. How Cholas in Tamil Nadu, Pala in Bengal, Rashtrakuta in Karnataka. Likewise, Ahom means Automatica in Assam region. Okay. So why the Ahom people participated mean Their area was annexed by British. That's why I said annexation. Annexation is the number one culprit for all kind of revolt. The area was annexed. So this is what the Ahom. The area was annexed. So Ahom people got considered, okay, outsiders occupied my land. So keep it in mind, Assam, Guwahati, Assam now India. In those time, not at all. That too, the British, right, took it. They considered, no, these people are outsiders. We have to fight it. That led to the Ahom revolt. Ruler was there, but we don't want. So likewise, so many rulers, petty rulers, small rulers, started to fight against the British. This is called native rulers or small princely states. So revolt. Okay, what happens, sir, in all the revolt? You see that Kamana, you write it, all the revolt were ruthlessly suppressed. Write it. All the revolt were heavily suppressed. Rulers were killed. Rulers were killed. Area was annexed. So this is what normal circumstances. Okay, now you do one thing. You just go through this native rulers uprising. Actually, this is the typical way of writing for a 10-mark question or 15-mark question. So what is native ruler? Why the revolt? Some important revolt. What is the conclusion? Conclusion means what happened to them. Right? It's like framework. In the same way, we are entering into next framework. Here, peasant movement, I will discuss later. You open the topic, tribal uprising. Why peasant movement? Later we will discuss. Now I will discuss tribal movement. Next I am entering into peasant. That's all over. I assure you, either a 10 mark or in the history optional, this area, every year there should be a 10 mark. Without that, there is no history optional question. That I assure you. For GS wise, once in a 2 year or once in a 3 year, definitely a mains question. Otherwise, every year a preliminary question. Actually, we entered into national movement because these are all the freedom struggler, early freedom struggle people. Freedom struggle means many candidates are thinking that Gandhi, Nehru, non-cooperation movement, that is second phase. We are the first phase. So keep it in mind, freedom struggle can be divided into two. One is INC and related phase. Another is before INC. So whatever happened, whoever opposed British outside and before birth of INC, that is the first phase. So we are in the national movement of first phase. Keep it in mind. Understood? Yes. Next is tribal uprising. And you all people knew of this figure. It's a India famous, all India level, very famous figure. Type it. Who is any guess? Rough guess? Type it. Any idea? Type. Many type, many. Super, yeah, very good. Birsa Munda. So the great leader, the great organizer of Munda uprising called Birsa Munda, right? Is a very famous person. So I open the topic tribal uprising. Okay. So who are tribes? First you should know. Then what are all the reason for tribal uprising, right? And what are all the important tribal uprising? Everything is structure. You see that here, why tribal revolt? 5 points. With the 5 subtopic, 2 lines. A page is over. Next page, some important tribal uprising. All are tribal uprising. And some explanation in the map. Page is over. Last page, impact and significant. Third page. That's all. So keep this. This is the method of mains template. Okay. Out of 20 mains question is that at least 10 question you should show diagram. You should draw diagram. These are all the method. These are all like a halwa to get more score. Okay, small 1 mark in a question when compared to other student. which will take you to next level. 1 mark is enough. I think I already discussed in early class itself. You all people know GS. You see that 4 GS paper. Okay, optional. Paper 1, paper 2, paper 2. Next is SC. Only 1, because these are all scoring subject. From here only your score would be counted. Okay, listen. In all 20 question, all to the 20 question would be asked. Okay, in each question, 20 question, if you get half more mark, keep it in mind. Each 20 question, right, half more mark means in each paper you could get 10 more mark when compared to other student. You just imagine, to a question, if you write the answer which put half mark more than to another student means, so in GS itself you could be 40 marks ahead of a student, other student. Okay, and even you come to that, here in paper 1, just some 5-10 questions. Okay, 10 question half mark means 5 marks. Paper 2 also 10 question, half mark means 5, so another 10, 50 marks when compared to other. Essay you leave it. Okay, 50 mark, just imagine. I put least a half mark. That's why that is a matter. In 50 mark, you will become number 1 rank. Otherwise, you will enter into IAS. Otherwise, you will enter into IAS. Otherwise, you will enter into a service. Otherwise, you will not enter into a service. Otherwise, you will not even go to interview stage itself. Just imagine. That's why, please, take it as a serious and study jolly. And to any extent, what we need, mark. For that, what kind of jigna work we have to do? These kinds of work. Okay. After that, don't feel sad, don't feel bad. Right. Once everything is over, you can't do. It is out of your hand. Then you have, throughout the life, you have to feel it. So if I have written just one minute, last university exam, last half an hour only we will write like anything. First half an hour jolly we will do, we will write. Last half an hour we will complete the next half of the paper. Don't do like this. Okay, so here first is tribes. Who are tribes is important. Simple thing. Who are tribes? Type. If these criteria are met, then such people are called tribes. Mention. Type it. Native of forest. People living, so many, super. Agriculture, preliminary, livelihood, economically background, nomadic tribes, economically poor. Okay. Whatever the definition you are giving is almost right. Here I have to polish it. I have to polish your definition so as to opt for UPSC standard. So who are tribes means not just one criteria. So many criteria are clubbed. Such a people are called tribes. So who are tribes means those who follow age-old culture. Not unique culture. Unique culture means not necessarily to be tribes. If you come to Tamil Nadu, Tamil people have unique culture. If you go to Kashmir, Kashmir people have unique culture. Rajput have unique culture. But they, they are not necessarily to be the tribes. So their culture is not being changed for thousands of years. Age-old culture. As of now, I am using cell phone. They even don't know what is cell phone. As of now, we are using pistol. But even today, they are using bow and arrow. Okay, this is the first. It means that, right, first. Second thing is primitive technology, right? The people are simpler, the word primitive. Primitive people, primitive technology, primitive economy, write it. Primitive means age old. technology, primitive economy. Today we have Mahindra tractor, am I right? Harvesting machine. But even today, they would use the hands for digging and harvesting if you go to tribal area. Primitive technology. As of now, we are wearing dress, colorful dress. Even if you go to Andaman, they are going naked. Wearing dress is punishable, maybe punishable offense there, because they don't know. Their culture is entirely different. Am I right? And next is indigenous. Actually, that people are pure indigenous. So who are indigenous people means tribals are indigenous because tribes would not move, would not have come out of this pure indigenous. Understood? So if these conditions are met, they have language, they have their own language, their own customs, and another thing, they would not mingle with the modern society. If mingled with modern society, then they are not tribes. They lost their character. So they should have certain character. Then only such a people are called tribes. And they are accessing forest. That's why many have written living in forest or inaccessible part. They may live in forest. They may live in mountain. So such a people are called the tribes. So no one criteria, single criteria to define tribes. Okay. Do you know illiterate people majorly, ignorant people because they don't know what is law, what is the police system, what is the technology, illiterate people, ignorant people, innocent people, triple I actually. Right? So likewise, such a people are there. But what the bloody British did it, even such a innocent people were not left. They started, British entered into that, sucked their wealth. British entered into that, started to economic exploitation. British entered into that, started to convert into other religion forcibly, not by choice, forcibly. That's why that tribal people got tension. So now open the topic, why are reasons. Reason for the tribal uprising. Now you write all the 5 points. That's all. These things you knew very well of this. Taken? So all the 5 points. Deprived forest access. Yes. How deprived of taken down? How deprived of forest access? Near the deprived of forest access, you write due to Forest Act. Otherwise, by enacting Forest Act. So British enacted Forest Act and said that no, you are destroying the forest. So as per law, you should not enter. Actually, this is wrong. You cannot separate forest and the tribes. And tribes are not the destroyer of the forest. Actually, they are the real protector of the forest. But what the British did, they were deprived of entering into forest. Over. Second, intrusion of the outsider, Jamindar, merchant, traders. Listen, intrusion means unnecessary interfering of the outsiders. So Jamindar would go to tribal area, merchant would go, trader would go. Especially these people started to cheat the tribes. Not all, some people, some Jamindars started to cheating. Okay, this is the second. Third is loss of land. Why their land was confiscated by outsider? Write it. Their land was confiscated by outsider. Outsiders. So outsiders started to confiscate their land. Actually, how could you confiscate it? The land is the only property they had it, but it was confiscated. They started to what happened is revolt. Okay, they started. And the last is some Christian missionary. Keep it in mind, I never said all. Some Christian missionary and forcible conversion. Forceful conversion. So, and last, because of these things, what happened is they consider fear of loss of culture. So, this is the method of studying. So, come to class for studying the story. Fact wise, I will give few remaining while writing the test. That's why you say test paper is very important. Okay, once a test is over, you don't throw the test paper. Actually, test paper is also a class notes. Okay, keep it and revise it. That's also important. Actually, openly to say, even it may be boasting or exaggeration. We are 2004, this academy started. So 16 years we have been here. And classes and whatever question, it has already been proved of this. Already been proved of this. Right. Our academy class, our academy of question paper are above the standard level. If able to score 50% and above in our academic question paper, definitely UPSC paper you will clear it. Because while keeping the test, we will take toughest question so that you will get low mark, but it does not mean that you are not at all studying. UPSC standard would be like this. If you attend our test, if you go to UPSC, you will feel easy and you will get. That's why question paper wise, always we are maintaining some standard. That to some tune, fine tuned, some tough one. So even if you get low score, no need to bother about it. It means that you are fighting for tough. Understood? So this is what in this concept, all the five. Okay, now some tribal uprising. For that you have to draw the map. Draw it here itself. Don't take screenshot. Then my whatever I have given is useless. Right. Draw the map of India. Then here so many tribes are given. I will give some tribes that alone you by heart it. First draw outline of India. I think now it's completely visible. I think so. First just outline and wait it for my turn. I will give few because no need to by heart all. It's difficult. Yes. One is here bills. Here also, here also. So just mark here and note down two important. That's one important tribes called bills. Another is Koli. Bill tribes and Goli tribes. Okay, in this area, where this people are means Shayadri Hills. Shayadri Hills. Okay, so each part of India, just 2 to 3 tribal tribes. So Bill tribes, Gold tribes, they revolted. And here, if you see Koya, another tribe is missing. You write it Chenju. Chenju is also in Andhra and this area. Koya and Chenju. In Nallamala region. Nallamala region. Since I have not given leader, if you want to by heart the leader's name, better to study. I will give one or two leader. Other leaders, if I have not given, go and by heart it. Since it's a factual in information, so that's why. Okay, these two. And you come to here. In this two important, Santals. Here is the Santals and Mundas. So in this region, Santals, Mundas, Varavan, all are in Rajmahal. Rajmahal hill region, otherwise simply Chota Nagpur. Chota Nagpur region. So 2 here, 2 we studied, here 2, altogether 4, here we studied 2 to 3, 6, and here 2, altogether 8 to 10 tribal uprising, you by heart it here itself. And next is here, the in this Nagas is there, nearby Nagas you write it Kuki. Kuki in Manipur. Kuki people in Manipur region. Actually, full name of the tribe is Tadoi Kukis. That is the right one. In Manipur region. So these are all important tribal revolt. Nearly 8 we have discussed it, right? 7 to 8. In this 1 or 2 I have to mention of the leader. The most important is Munda. Munda revolt year I will give, note it down, 1899. 1899. The leader was Birsa Munda. Birsa Munda. And next is Santals. Santals is 1855-56. So just 1 year before the Great Revolt, 1855-56, Santal Revolt. Here the leaders are Sidhu. Already question 17 or 18 question. Sidhu and Kanu. Yes, these are all some important revolt and the leaders. So why, who are tribes discussed? What is the reason we discussed? Now we discuss some important tribal uprisings also. Okay, next you write it, characteristics. Characteristics are features of tribal revolt. Characteristics are features of the tribal revolt. Yes. Sir, what are all the characteristics or features of the tribal revolt? Yourself can say. It would be a violent or non-violence. No doubt. You write it first one, violent. Most violent movement. Because all took the weapon and started. Here you could see. All took the weapon and started to fight. So it's a pure and violent. What kind of weapon? Bow and arrow. Likewise, they started to revolt. Okay, most violent. Okay, if it is a violent, what kind of method? If it is violent, British would use ahimsa or violent. Violent. So British suppressed them by using heavy machines. By using heavy machines, British suppressed them. Okay. Now, what kind of weapon they used? Advanced weapon or primitive weapon? Next is primitive weapon. Usage of primitive weapon, but the British used advanced weapon. So primitive versus advanced. Primitive versus advanced weapon. Right? It's a second. Third is it's an unorganized, because in tribal uprising you can't say organized manner. It's highly unorganized. So whatever they had, whatever the way they would attack. Otherwise, if you see in the battlefield, Bahubali, that is Trishul Vyuha, no such a Vyuha, no such a strategy, no such a maneuverism, no such a thing. They would attack like anything. Unorganized. And next is religious superstition, otherwise religious excessiveness. Religious excessiveness. Even, before going to battle and war, they would kill or sacrifice animal. Again, Bahubali also. So here also one could say religious excessiveness or religious superstition. It's very interesting. The best religious superstition example is this Birsa Munda. Listen, Birsa Munda was a tribal peasant. He was a tribe as well as a peasant. Okay, and he was a leader of Mundas. First he was a leader. People accepted. After few months he said, I am the messenger of the God. Keep it in Messiah. I am the Messiah of the God. People accepted that also. After few months, he said, I am God. People also accepted. Okay, this is what the rise of Birsa Munda. Okay. Another important is one day Birsa Munda wanted to fight against the British. He asked the people, oh people, tomorrow we are going to fight against the British. So you do one thing, all bring big lathis, lathi charge, okay, lathis. So all brought lathis, hundreds of thousands of lathis. He heaped, he heaped it, and since himself was a god, what he did rituals, elaborate rituals, and uttered mantras, and even he sprayed the holy water. You knew very well, spraying the holy water. Right, how Agatya would have a holy water inside his kamandala, am I right? And if some people get angry, means he would curse. Likewise, he sprayed holy water and gave the lathis to each people. Okay, what is the purpose of the lathi in the battlefield? Means not to attack the British by using the lathi. Then, by means of God, Birsa Munda gave magic power to the lathi. What is the magic power? Is when British shoot at that tribal people, all the tribal people should show the lathi in front of their chest. Since Birsa Munda gave the magic, the bullet would not cross the lathi. Just imagine. This is what the belief. All the people, right, when British started to fire, they started to show and all started to fall one after another. These kinds of religious superstition, excessiveness. You just imagine. So Birsa said that I had given magic power to the lathi, the bullet would not cross the lathi. It's like present day cinema. Even we do have heroes. Even sometimes superheroes are there. What the heroes and superhero would do in so many movies, even Hollywood, Bollywood, Hollywood, Tollywood, Sandalwood, in all the wood, this is happening. The villain would give a gunshot. The bullet would travel, and the hero would see because of the eye, the bullet would automatically drop. Have you seen this? Otherwise, some of the heroes are there. What would happen? Especially heroes is okay. If you go to Andhra Pradesh movie, that's all over. Superheroes, super heroes. Balakrishna, Sampurnesh Babu. Especially there is a movie called 123, Singham 123. How many of them have watched? I have not known by the time. Right, what would happen means the bullet would hit the chest of the hero and would return back and would kill the person who gave the gunshot. This is possible only in Telugu movie actually. Yeah, otherwise, we have seen that what would happen, the bullet would come and the hero would swallow it and chew it and he spit it. These kinds of things you could see, but real superhero was this Birsa Munda. So these kinds of structure were there, but at last what happened? All the tribal movements were suppressed and ruthlessly suppressed by the British. That's all. This is the method of studying tribal movement. You just go through tribal movement points, my structure and native rulers. This is the method of writing for me. A map, why, important factual information, next end point, way forward, conclusion. Exact, this is the method. Okay, that's all. Tribal uprising is over. And next we have to study this. What is the thing is, the peasant movement we have to discuss. Break, after break, I have to discuss the peasant movement. Then 1857 revolt. Break, then we will discuss. Next is the peasant movement. Peasant movement, and topic is this after 1857 revolt. So that's why I forced to take the peasant movement at last. Otherwise, I would have taken peasant movement after native uprising. So the topic is very clear. The peasant movement after the 1857 revolt. So thus we are entering into after 1857. But I am discussing is in part 1 itself. That's why I am saying this unit onwards, revolt, uprising unit onwards, we are discussing about national movements. Okay, this is also national movement in part 1. Many aspirants are thinking that what is the first national movement is 1857 revolt. No doubt, that is also a freedom fight movement. But before that itself, so many movements happened, like this movement happened. So this is also part and parcel of freedom struggle. And this is also, these people are also freedom fighter, nationalist. Okay, so here unit is very clear. Peasant movement after 1847. Altogether 3 peasant movements are there, right? You see that Indigo revolt, one we are going to discuss. Okay, don't read. Second is Pabana movement. It is a second we are going to discuss. And third is the Deccan uprising. So these 3 movements constitute the peasant movement. So under peasant movement, you write just the Indigo revolt 1859-60. Write it. Next, Pabana movement 1872 to 85. Just write the movement alone. Indigo revolt, Pabana movement. We will discuss elaborately later. Third is Deccan uprising 1875, not 1885, 1875 to 1879. So studying of these 3 constitute this peasant movement. Okay. Always before entering into movement, we should know who are peasant. No need of definition. You all know. Why peasant movement? So first, if something happened, you should use the word why. And who are the person. And at last, conclusion. Conclusion means what is the effect, what is the significant. That is the conclusion. Yes. So this is what here we are going to discuss. So first thing, causes. What are all the causes of the peasant movement? Or why? Why such a peasant movement? Yes. Write all the 5 points and with gap to write 1 or 2 lines. So this is the template of answer writing mode. By heart it. Yes. First is land revenue system. I already discussed how many land revenue system: Jamindari, Rayatwari, Mahalwari. Land revenue system was not at all a matter, but land revenue system was against the peasant, common man. How land revenue system was responsible for peasant revolt is Jamindars. Here you write it, money lenders problem. Jamindars, money lenders problem. Why? In Jamindar area, Jamindars were the problem. In Mahalwari and Rayatwari system, money lenders were the problem. How money lenders were the problem? Type it. How money lenders were the problematic. Hmm? Debt trap. Okay, correct. Because of debt trap, what happened? Debt trap is the right word. How money lenders were responsible for debt trap? How? Lending rate was high. So why money lenders issue mean, right, lending rate, high lending rate. So it is difficult for the peasant to repay the interest as well as the loan. That is the biggest issue. Good. Money lenders issue. And another is why Jamindars, how Jamindars were the issue or problem? Type. How zamindars were the problematic? Collecting more rent. Collecting more rent than prescribed. Collecting more rent than prescribed. If peasant refused, mean their land was confiscated. Confiscated by the by the zamindar. Likewise, we already discussed it. I am just refreshing your mind. So that's why here are the reasons. Okay. So next is expelled from the land. Because of zamindar only, the second point. It was zamindar who expelled the peasant from the land. It's a second point is related to this zamindar. Third is commercialization of agriculture. Actually, these are all very important. 2018 preliminary question. Yes, 2018 preliminary question. So what is commercialization of agriculture? Means cultivating cash crops instead of food crops. Cultivating cash crops instead of food crops. Actually, this is not at all profitable to the peasant. That's the biggest reason. But who profited? British profited. Because if you cultivate cotton, the cotton was sent to Britain for industrialized British in Manchester, Birmingham, Leeds, such a cotton industries, cities. So commercialization of agriculture. Right. These are all keyword. Compulsorily should by heart it and compulsorily should be there in exam. Okay. And interference of outsiders. Who were the outsider? Same thing. Zamindars, money lender, right? These people. Interference of outsiders, especially money lenders, the outsiders. And I already given is here the money lenders issue. The separate I have discussed. Okay. So these are all important points. At last, what happened is because of these reasons, right? They became utter poor, or they were in utter poverty. Poverty, economic depression, write it. Economic depression because of this, and became landless people. For example, if they were expelled from the land means they become landless people. These are all keyword. So I had land. My land was confiscated means I became landless. I don't have work. If I don't have work, I would fight. Do you know? Unemployment is responsible for social evils. If you are not at all given job, last what you will do? You will do anything which would fetch money. So you will go for what one is antisocial. You will become antisocial elements. So these are all the reason. That's why actually these are all the causes. Keep it in mind for Indigo Revolt, Pabna movement, as well as for Deccan uprising. So no need to give it separate causes for each. With this much of overall idea, now I am entering into the first revolt. Write it, Indigo Revolt. Here year by heart it. That's why I mentioned the year. In this all the years by heart it. Indigo Revolt. First point. In Nadia district of Bengal. Just 4 points or 5 points. And this one, actually this one 2018 question. Preliminary question. This is already question. Okay. In Nadia district of Bengal. Okay. Which place? What is the issue, sir? Listen. Issue is related to indigo cultivation. I have not given, write it. Issue is related to indigo cultivation. Next point. Yes. Carefully listen. If you don't know this explanation, what I going to discuss, you can't have an idea about Champaran Satyagraha. So what happened in Indigo Revolt? The same thing happened 50 years later in Champaran, where Gandhiji participated. That led to Champaran Satyagraha. Okay, listen, carefully listen. So what is the indigo issue? What is the indigo problem? Is listen. What is indigo first of all? Type it. What is indigo? Yes, it's a dyeing. Blue dyeing or color. Yes, it's a dyeing. Actually, it is used in dyeing industry. What is it's a color actually. Indigo is a just a color. It is a dark blue or thick blue. That is the indigo color. That is used in dyeing industry in cotton's textile. Actually, dyeing industry is an allied sector in cotton. In that only this is used. So it is not dyeing actually. It is a dark blue color which is used in dyeing industry. Okay. So what is indigo? Is a dark blue. How indigo, dark blue is generated or created now is, listen, in 2020 I am saying, if you mix two chemical substances, immediately you will get a dark blue. But in those days, no chemical engineering had developed. What happened is, there is a plant, keep it in mind, there is a plant, small crop called indigo. Actually, from the crop called indigo, from that only the color is extracted. That's why the color dark blue is named after the color, named after the plant. So what is indigo? Is a color. That name itself is derived from a crop, a plant called indigo. So keep it in mind. Indigo is a plant. India is #1 country which cultivated indigo in large scale, especially in Nadia district, West Bengal, Bihar, especially in Champaran. These areas are well known, were well known, not one, now once upon a time, were well known for indigo cultivation. So listen, indigo cultivation. Who should cultivate indigo? Peasant. Carefully listen. In Champaran Satyagraha, I would never repeat it. I would just say indigo problem. You have to go back and you have to refresh your mind here. Yes. So peasants were cultivating indigo in Nadia district. Yes, listen. Peasant cultivated. From that crop and small portion later would be extracted and it would be sent to industry. In the industry, they would do some process. At the end of the process, they would get a thick soap-like structure. Listen, this cell phone like soap-like structure, they would get it. Okay. Now it is ready. Then who want this indigo is textile owner. A textile owner would come to the industry and he would buy this soap-like structure and he would do some process. He would do thick blue color, that is called industry. So if you want to use dyeing, means here first peasant must cultivate, second it should be sent to industry, undergone industrial process and you will get soap-like structure and textile. So you leave the textile. If you come to this here, two people are essential. One is peasant, another is industrial owner. Carefully listen. If you want to produce indigo, that is a dyeing color, means you need two people. One is the peasant, right? Another is the industrial owner. Here problem, indigo problem between, write it, problem na between two. Split it and write between indigo plant cultivating, split it and write. One side, indigo plant cultivating Indian peasant. Here Indian peasant in Nadia district, okay? Indian peasant. Other side is British industrial owner in Nadia district. Other side is British industrial owner in Nadia district. Yes. So one side Indian peasant, other side is British industrial owner. What kind of issues are? Let me explain. Yes. Here in this classroom, 140 members, 50 members are there. Okay. You are all peasant in Nadia district. You are cultivating indigo plant. I am a British merchant. Okay. I am a British industrial owner. I wanted to do business with indigo. I came to your district and I set up a industry, indigo industry. For procurement of indigo plant, I come to you. Who is there? No one is there in the screen. No one. Okay. So you consider A, B, C. since no one I could see in the screen. So you consider some aspirants. Okay. So here I entered into contract with the first 10 aspirant of this. You are all the peasant. So all cultivate indigo on behalf of me. So like me, so many industrial owner, they entered into contract with the peasant to procure of the indigo plant. Okay. You are very happy because you would harvest and one buyer is there. So you are very happy and you harvested it. After harvesting, I came to you and I said, please, I'll give the indigo item to me at lowest price. Keep it in mind. So merchant asked or industrial owner asked for lowest price. Peasant refused. Deadlock. That is the issue. So you write it. So merchant or owners asked for lowest price, but peasant refused. So that happened in Nadia district. That is called the Indigo Revolt. Got it? Yes. Now what happened? All the 350 members, you are all the peasant. You started to revolt under the leader. Next point you write. Under the leadership of Digambar Biswas and Bishnu Chandra Biswas. So themselves were the peasant. They agitated under Digambar and Bishnu Chandra. Okay, it's the second point. And third is educated Bengal people supported for the cause of peasant. Educated Bengal people supported for the cause of peasant. Yes. So peasant got the support from educated Bengal people. How they got support means these two are very, very important. Again and again UPSC is asking this. How they are supporting is through a newspaper. So educated Indians supported through a newspaper. This is the newspaper name Hindu Patriot. Next I come to Neil Turban. Okay. Newspaper name is Hindu Patriot by Harish Chandra Mukherjee. He was the editor at the time. I think he was also a founder by Harish Chandra Mukherjee. So newspaper. If any kind of movement wanted to popularize, mean definitely it need the newspaper. Otherwise, media support. Without media support, you can't popularize any movement. In one place, people are fighting means media would cover it. Then only throughout the world, people would start to revolt. Otherwise, it's impossible. For example, a black man was killed by the police in America. That is an incident happened in a road, in a place. But because of media, throughout the world it reached. Throughout USA, people started aware and started to support for the man. If no media, nothing is there. Mean how many people would have watched that scene in the road? 10 people. 10 people alone would give support. That's why media is very important. In those time, only one media available is the Hindu, that is the newspaper. So Hindu Patriot is important. Okay. Second is very important. Already UPSC question, 2018 question is a play. Keep it in mind. A play name is this. It is not a drama. Sorry, it is not a novel. It is a play. It is a drama. A play. Otherwise, you write a drama. What is the name of the drama? Is Neil Turban. Neil Turban. Composed by Deen Bandhu Mitra. Composed by Deen Bandhu Mitra. Describe about this revolt. That is Indigo Revolt. It is a drama. This drama was staged throughout Bengal, and it got the support of the Bengal in favor of the Bengal Indigo people. That is Nadia district people. Likewise, the movement went. That's very important. Actually, Indigo movement is an eye-opener for peasant. Gradual, organized, got the support of other people. Okay, this is the way Indigo revolt. Though government suppressed it, Indigo movement is an eye-opener. Conclusion-wise, we don't want. Okay, not that much. And next you write Fabana movement. 1872 to 1885. 1885 in Pabna district of Bengal. In Pabna district, Pabna as of now in Bangladesh, I think. Pabna district in Bangladesh presently, but erstwhile it's a Bengal province. Okay, what is the issue, sir? Okay, it's simple. In Bengal, what land revenue system was practiced? Type it. What land revenue system in Bengal? Yes, what land revenue system is Jamindari system. If it is the Jamindari system, who are the problematic people is Jamindar. You all knew very well that Jamindars were the problematic people. So, if I said Babna and I said a place, Bengal, na, automatically it should come to know the Jamindar's issue because it's a Jamindari system. So, you write it, problem between peasant and Jamindar. Straight away I come to the problem. Problem between peasant and Jamindar. Okay. What kind of problem the Jamindar versus British? Type it. Already discussed. Problem between Jamindar and peasant. Yes, right. Excess land rent collection. Exactly. So Jamindar tried to collect excess land rent. One. If peasant refused, next point. If peasant refused, he was expelled from the land illegally. Underline the word. That's why the second issue, second plus I have mentioned. The Jamindars expelled the peasant illegally. So legal eviction is not at all questioned. The problem is illegal eviction. That alone was questioned. Okay, how could you classify, sir, legal and illegal is very easy. You consider here three students, okay, aspirants are there. A, B, C, D. Okay. A, B, C. Three are there. Okay. Here they are all the peasant. As per law, A should pay 10 rupees, B should pay 10 rupees, C should pay 10 rupees. Okay. Just imagine. Consider this. I am the Jamindar. I come to A's home and asked, A, as per law, you should pay 10 rupees. Keep it in mind. What A says, Yajaman, or so Jajman, I didn't have sufficient amount. I could give only 5 rupees. Means Jamindar had all the right to expel A from his land because he didn't oblige his payment. Such a expulsion is legally accepted. Okay. Next, I went to B's house, right? And I knew very well B, a rich peasant, this year for him bumper harvest, he could pay 20 rupees. But normal, as per law, he should pay only 10 rupees. I went to B's house and I asked him to give 20 rupees. Immediately B protested, no, Jamindar, as per law, I should pay 10 rupees. Why should pay excess? I threatened, if you refuse to pay whatever the amount I ask, you will be expelled. You do it, I would not pay. So he was expelled from the land. This is illegal eviction because he is ready to pay 10 rupees as per law, but I insisted 20 rupees. This is illegal eviction. Understood? Such a illegally evicted peasant got tension. So that was a keyword. Jamindar issue, illegally evicted peasant got tension. This much of information you should know. Okay, next point. Here also who supported is, write it, the Bengal educated Indians supported. Here also Bengal educated Indians supported. Actually, here I use the keyword. Whenever you supposed to use the word educated Indian, you use this word intelligentsia. Here also you could use the word intelligentsia. Actually, these are all the keyword to fetch more score. Intelligentsia mean educated group. So here also like this intelligentsia supported. Here also the Bengal intelligentsia supported. How did they support us? Through an association, you write. Through an organization. The organization name is Indian Association. Already UPSC question. Actually, these are all the question catchment area. Indian Association by two great stalwarts. Who are the two great stalwarts here is? One is Anand Mohan Bose. Under Indian Association, you write. One is Anand Mohan Bose. Another is Surendranath Banerjee. Mohan Bose and Surendranath Banerjee. These two great stalwarts, organization name is Indian Association. They actively supported the peasant of the Pabna. Okay, so in that way, the movement was going on for decade. At last, the government what it did, it came to understand what the thing, whether problem with the peasant or the jamindar means. Government says problem with the jamindar. Why? These bloody jamindars were asking excess amount. If the peasant refused to pay, the bloody jamindar expelled them from the land. So problem with the peasant, not the peasant, rather than with the jamindar. So what government did it enacted an act. This is very important. You write it. Government enacted, passed an act. What is the name of the act? Is Bengal Tenancy Act. Bengal Tenancy Act 1885. What is the purpose of the Bengal Tenancy Act? Is to protect the peasant from jamindar. Protect the peasant from the jamindar. So this is very important. Question may be asked. Bengal Tenancy Act was the outcome of which of the following movement? What movement is Pavana movement? Okay. Just after Majra first part is over, except 1857 revolt, first part. Today I will complete it. Nearly, do you know, 400 pages in spectrum book I have completed. Okay. So hereafter I think so this week no class. Don't leave it. Thoroughly study in my class notes spectrum book and some missed topic which is not mentioned in spectrum book NCERT. Complete it. Next, if I open part 2, non-cooperation movement, Indian National Congress, Subhash Chandra Bose, if I started, then I will complete another 300 pages. Okay, so 6 hours, 7 hours you have to study daily of history. Major portion, first part is going to be completed. And third is this Deccan Uprising. Deccan Uprising 1875 to 79. 75 to 79. So why, what is Deccan? That you all people know, the southern part, this part is entirely called the Deccan. This is the Deccan region. In Deccan region, where the movement happened is Ahmednagar district. Actually here, Ahmednagar district in Bombay. Here is the Bombay. This area is the Bombay province. Here a district called Ahmednagar. Ahmednagar district of Bombay province. Okay, simple. In Bombay province, what land revenue system type? Yes. So keep Bombay province, what land revenue system is Rayatwari. In Rayatwari, who were the problem? Money lenders. That's why there I mentioned money lenders issue. So Rayatwari, you should know. In Rayatwari, who are the people? Money lender. How money lenders were the issue? You should know. And in mains, you have to write everything. These are all the hint points. So money lenders issue. What is the money lenders issue? Collected excess rent. Excess interest. Collected excess interest. And if the peasant couldn't repay the loan, their property were confiscated. If the peasant couldn't repay, their property were confiscated. Confiscated by here by moneylender. Confiscated. So that's why such affected moneylender peasants joined together, and the problem between split it, peasant and moneylender. Peasant and moneylender. This is what happened in Ahmedabad. Simple. One side is always peasant. That's why here the peasant movement. Other side, who with that only the movement. Other side, indigo industrial owner means indigo revolt. Other side, zamindars means Pavna movement. Other side, money lenders means here is the Deccan uprising. Simple. This is over. Okay. What kind of issues are? Is listen. Actually, first culprit is government. You simple. Why did peasant approach moneylender? What was the reason behind for approaching the moneylender type? Apply the logic and type. Why and what was the reason for approaching moneylender? Okay. To pay tax to government. Here problem is not to pay normal tax, right? To pay higher tax. To pay higher tax, keep it in mind. Here, normal tax can be paid by the peasant without approaching the moneylender. But what government did, every year it was raising the tax. So, write it. Every year government raised the tax. That's why approached the moneylender. That's why approached the moneylender. Now you say who was the culprit was? The government. Government was the first culprit. If had it not increased the tax, what is the necessity of approaching the moneylenders? Okay. So that's why nastily government increased the tax, especially when government wanted money to fight in American Civil War. That's why I mentioned. So why government raised money, increased the tax here is, you're right, American Civil War. So Deccan uprising is associated with American Civil War. What is American Civil War? Who participated? That is world history. Got it? So that's a world history topic, American Civil War. Okay, sir. So Deccan is here. Carefully listen. Deccan is here. This part. America is located, United States of America here. United States of America is here. How 17 or 8,000 kilometer, you just consider. 8,000 or 9,000 kilometer distance between these two countries. I think 16,000 it be 16, no, it may be not more than 8,000 to 9,000. Okay, so here this much of distance. Sir, how a war happened in America, how did it reflect in Deccan? Any resemblance in America and Deccan? Any resemblance? Any common feature? Use your sense and type. Colonial, wrong. Then keyword, British occupancy, wrong. Here keyword is Deccan region. No, slavery, good but not related. Deccan. Here keyword is Deccan. And another thing is agriculture wise. That's also I mentioned. Yeah, exactly. யார் ஆன்சர் பண்ணீங்க? Cotton. Cotton is exactly right. This is the way of thinking, yeah. This is what, how many times yourself think originally. This is what original thinking. You no need to again and again study of the book. That's why I said in the first class, history is known to all the student. All the aspirant knew. Vinita is good. Right. History is known all the student. That's why I'm saying. Negative. Right? Inbuilt, it is there. Cotton is the reason. So, cotton boom, cotton rise, cotton decline. Whenever war happened, here issues, here also issues. So, what the government did, increase the tax. That's why peasant approached the money lenders. Some money lender, I am not at all criticizing all. Some money lender started to misuse the ignorant and illiteracy of the peasant. Simple. I am a peasant, illiterate. I approach a money lender. This is what actually happened. I approach a money lender. I want a loan. What money lender would do? I forced to give my thumb impression in a plain paper. Am I right? A fingerprint. Even today in cell phone we are calling as a fingerprint. Actually it is an Indian system. Once upon a time we used is the fingerprint. Do you know? Contradiction. Once upon a time if you use fingerprint you are illiterate people. But as of now whoever using the fingerprint highly literate people. Advancement of technology. What nonsense of this? Am I right? Once upon a time criticism. Oh, you are a fingerprint. You are illiterate. But now what is the thing we are doing is Indian way of system is being used by the people. Instead of putting our thumb impression in the paper, we are putting it over the cell phone. If asked me, it is highest stage of technology and it is highest stage of literacy, intelligence. So you borrowed the concept from us and you are saying that this is highest. Actually, if you see what is technology, advanced technologies, all are Indian way. Almost everything would have practiced thousands of years before in India. When it went to Western world and if it is coming in the colorful and very jigna bottle, we are ready to follow. If it's Indian, Indian local. So they see, we don't want, we want Pardesi. It's contradiction actually. Earlier, if you see, we used to have old grandma would have the jolna bag, always would have like this and would keep it here in here. Now, what is that decency means? The same jolna bags comes here. If you go to Delhi, especially Karol Bagh, otherwise if you go to Connaught Place, and this is the advancement. That bags would go for 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees. Once upon a time, our grandma used it, country people. But now, it's like so many things I could. Another one fine example is toothpaste. You just see 40 years before, if you see ad, what nonsense Indians. Indians are using charcoal of toothing it. Indians are using the neem. Now that's why we are introducing paste now. Indians are using the salt. But now the same thing is coming. It is a salt attached. It is a salt enriched. It is a charcoal enriched. Oh, people, you see that. That's what we followed it 40 years before. You criticized that we are a barbarian, uncivilized people. Then you introduced your own technology. Now again the same thing you are saying by mixing our Indian Ayurvedic and Siddha concept. Right? Same way Western toilet also. 30 years before Western toilet. Decency. What nonsense of the decency. Okay. Only the unfit people would go there. Now again what happened is Indian toilet system. Asked me, this is a correct. Same thing we will also, Indian would also accept after 40 years. When it went to Western, when it is followed by Western people, later it would come, this is the best way. We would use it without knowing that this is our own system. Actually in India, even COVID also, if a person invented Ayurvedic medicines, no one would encourage him. If a person invented a Siddha medicines, no one would encourage, rather than would put him in jail. Rather than if some country invented means we would uprise and even we ready to purchase the medicines for any other cost. This is what normally we are I would say, who is the number one enemy of Indian? Another Indian. We would not respect our culture. Many people, government is saying, what is the best medicine? Go early morning and have Surya Namaskar and some other thing. No one would do it. Rather than we are ready to buy costly medicines. Best thing, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. It's a bare body, just a sun bath. Excellent. Excellent thing, yeah. You will get self immunity, vitamin D, citrus fruit is there. Right, our way is more than enough. If I give time, I will discuss the Indian way of life to any extent. So this is what here happened. So British increased the tax. So some money lenders misused it. Fingerprint. Actually, from fingerprint only I went to this topic. Okay. So peasant forced to give fingerprint in a empty paper. Then he would get the amount. Later, the money lender would write the terms and conditions and exorbitant interest. Peasant couldn't pay, and the problem happened between the peasant and the money lenders in Ahmednagar area. That is why it's called the Deccan Uprising. So you see that just money lender, American Civil War. With that, I explain this much of story. These things once you study in book and get knowledge. Okay, this is what. Now peasants started to revolt. Here also who supported is you write Bombay intelligentsia supported. Write it. Bombay intelligentsia supported. Intelligentsia mean educated. How? Is a association called Pune Sarvajanik Sabha. Here itself you could see Pune Sarvajanik Sabha by the trio, very important, the three people, M.G. Ranade, G.V. Joshi and Chiplunkar. The trio supported. Actually, these are all ready-made topic. Please, very important. Indian Association we discussed. Here Pune Sarvajanik Sabha we discussed. So likewise, they started to help it. At last, government said, came to a conclusion and compromise. Okay, peasant, definitely we will give some relief. How? In the name of an act that is called Deccan Agriculturist Relief Act. Note it down. So government enacted a law. The law is Deccan Agriculture Relief Act. So it was a relief against the moneylender. It was a relief against the excess rent. Bengal Tenancy Act, Pabna Movement. Deccan Agriculturist Relief Act, this Deccan Uprising. These are all the three uprising. With this, we successfully completed this unit. What is the name of the unit is this. This is the unit name. Yes, this unit is over. So just you go through of this. This is a method of study. Study once thoroughly. That's all. Once or twice. If you study it again and again, you should not touch the topic. Study likewise. And now I open the last topic. Write the last topic. The revolt of 1847 or Sipai Mutiny of 1847 or the first war of independence. Unit number 8, 8 or 9, I think. Yes, in between only one question. Do we have we completed Charter Act? Check it. 18, 13, 33, 53. You type it yes or no. Have we completed Charter Act? All the three Charter Act, type it. Yes. Then fine. Okay. So this is the last topic. Next 1 hour or 1 hour, this topic should be discussed. So whenever I touch the 1850s, we are in the national movement, though we are discussing in the part 1. So part 1 is very lengthy. Why part 1 is very lengthy is 250-year-old history. It starts with 1498 and 1857. Keep it in mind, part 1 is this much big. That's why nearly 7 or 8 class myself took it. Part 2 is 90-year-old history, 1857 to 1947. So you study like this. Keep it in mind, where I am, how I am studying, what are the various methods, then it's over. So part 1, the last topic is this one. This is very important. Okay. The first war of independence. Other people just said it's a revolt, so and so. Who was the first to use the word it's a first war of independence? Yes, you write it. V.D. Savarkar. V.D. Savarkar. Full name is Vinayak Damodar Savarkar. He was the first to use the word. No, it is not a XY. Yeah, it's a first war of independence. Then what is the second war of independence? Gandhiji, Nehruji, all other G's effort is the second war of independence. So he was the first to use the word, and not only that, he wrote the book in the same name. So he wrote the book in the same name. In that only he first used this. Got it? Yes. So what are all the causes? These are all the causes. Okay. Today you just, what are all the causes? What are all the consequences? Just you write this alone. First subtopic is causes. Causes. Just you draw this diagram. Political, 1, social, administrative, economic, military, immediate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In each 1 or 2 points. Actually, this is also one method. Causes mean you can go for like this. And political cause, 1 or 2 point. Social cause, 1 or 2 point. Economic cause, 1 or 2 point. That's all over. Your page will be colorful and different answer mode than writing paragraph. It's like a record notebook. So socio, so and so, politico, economico, immediaco, these are all the causes. This is nothing new. Today I am not going to discuss. What you have to do, all thoroughly study my class notes, because this week no other class, my class. Thoroughly study my class notes, and till that you thoroughly study in Spectrum or in NCERT. Come to the next class, I will ask question. Next class is yours. I will ask question, because political, socio-economic class, all we already discussed it. Nothing new to discuss of this. So we will discuss in the next class. I will ask definitely question. Particular, I will ask you to come to the speaker as well as in that video, and I will ask particularly question. Okay, any doubts? I think today you will not get any doubt. Okay, if any doubt, please. Yes, any doubts? Archana?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, could you state Gandhi's stand on Hinduism, casteism, and Varna? You said about Ambedkar.
Yes. Listen, in the case of Gandhi, all listen. Gandhi rejected untouchability alone. That you go back and write it. Yeah. All write it in Gandhi. Right, listen. Gandhiji rejected untouchability, but accepted casteism, accepted Varna, and accepted religion, Hindu religion. He he disliked only untouchability. Touch me not attitude alone. But he accepted Varna and casteism because it was born based on occupation. As long as it was occupation, he accepted it. But in that, Gandhiji and Ambedkar differs. Ambedkar rejected the entire thing. Root case of untouchability is Hinduism. Because of in Hinduism only Varna. Because in Varna only caste, Jadi. Because of the Jadi only untouchability. So if you want to eliminate untouchability, you have to kill the root. This is the concept. Gandhiji accepted, but only he wanted to abolish the untouchability. Okay.
Sir, also regarding the tribal uprising, were there any tribal uprisings in central India? Because you said Bills and Kolis in the west and Mundas and Santals in the east. Anything related to central India?
Yeah. Central India also here. In the map, whatever I mentioned, all Gond, Baikas, all are there. Even Central India from Gondwana region. But I have not
Okay.
mentioned it. Here also the tribes revolted.
So what about Hos and Hos?
Yes.
Ho, H-Y. I studied somewhere that there were tribes called Ho and Ho.
Coal here. Coals are here. Coal is here. Coals are here.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
That's why I said few tribes here mentioned. Almost all the tribes were affected by the British.
Okay, sir. And one more thing, sir.
Ah.
Sir, regarding that Indian Association and Pune Sarvajanic Sabha, you said certain intelligentsia supported. So, were they the founders of Indian Association or Pune Sarvajanic, or were they only the supporters?
They were the founder. Here, whatever I mentioned, the names are founding members. Founding
Okay,
members
thank
as well as supporters. Thank you.
you. Yeah.
Sri Darshini.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, last class you said that regarding Savitri Bai, you'll say whether she was the first reformer, a women reformer, and the first school I served through net, sir, but I couldn't get it. I mean, the act.
The same thing. I think I will get it. I also went through. I think so. I also couldn't get exactly this.
Okay, sir.
And she was the first reformer. That's because she was earliest. As long as we shall keep it. But before that, some people might have been there. I have not come across it. We can keep as long as, if no other previous women, we can keep it as a first reformer because Ramabai and all other people are coming later only. She may consider as first women reformer.
Sir. Sir, another thing is the Indian Association. You said no, sir. In Papna movement, the two members. The first member name I didn't get, sir. Anand.
Mohan Bose.
Okay, sir. Okay, so the last thing is, the movements, the peasant movements, in the Deccan or the South Indian, there were no peasant movements, sir.
Yes. Here there's no peasant movement in South India.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Vimal.
Sir, regarding the Indian Association and the Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, sir, they were founded for the specific cause of Indigo Revolt and Deccan Uprising, or they were formed for other causes and they supported these revolts?
Other causes. Next unit we will discuss. Next class I will discuss about this. These are all for other causes. Such association also supported for the cause of peasant.
Okay, sir. Sir, all the things are covered in Spectrum book, or we need to go for regarding the peasant movements, whether we need to move on to the Bipin Chandra's book for the further information, or Spectrum is necessary enough, sir?
That you go through because I have taken from various sources. I don't know exactly whether it's Spectrum or not. That your duty. You cross check it. If not there, you go to NCERT.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
That you do the groundwork of this, because I am taking from diversity of sources. You do it. If you just to go through, if you are preparing spectrum, if not there, immediately you definitely it will be there in NCERT.
Thank you, sir.
Murali Krishnan.
Sir, can I have your telegram number? So, am I audible to you?
No telegram number. You take my email.
Mail.
Mail
Yeah,
I
okay, sir.
have already given. Yes. Have I given my
I didn't
mail?
note it, sir. I haven't noted it, sir.
Okay.
Sorry.
My full name. .p@gmail.com.
Thank you, sir.
Deepika.
Yes, sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I didn't get that Deccan uprising is that American Civil War. What is that related to? How they both are related?
Come again.
In Deccan uprising, you said something related to that American Civil War.
Ah.
What is that, sir? Can't get that.
No, even I didn't tell because of the world history topic. That's why I said it will be discussed in.
Okay, sir.
I didn't say. Only thing in the cotton related, that alone I said.
And then, what is the difference between revolt and mutism? Is this same only, or is it different?
Yes. Revolt mean I can revolt. If I agitated, I am revolt. If you agitated, revolt. Mutiny means if a police revolted, it should be called mutiny. Uniformed force revolted mean it is called mutiny. That is the difference between revolt and mutiny. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir. I got it. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Rashika. Sivapriya.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir. So, what is the difference between Varna and casteism, sir? The Varna means by occupation, casteism means by birth. Correct, sir?
Both are wrong. Varna is four Varna even today. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Casteism mean within Brahmana so many subgroups are there, that is casteism. Even today entire Hindu society is grouped under four Varna. But casteism is 1 lakh plus or 10,000 plus caste are there. All the caste are grouped broadly under four Varna. It's like engineering. Engineering is a Varna. Medicine is a Varna. Lawyer is a Varna. In engineering, civil engineer, subgroup, caste. Mechanical engineer, caste. In lawyer, civil lawyer, caste. Criminal lawyer, caste. That's the difference between caste and Varna.
Okay, sir. So Gandhiji supported both Varna and casteism, even though it's based on occupation as well as birth.
Yes.
Okay, sir. And one more doubt, sir. So these uprisings of peasants are all related to zamindari and rayatwari. There is nothing related to mahalwari system, sir, in northwestern province like that.
Rayatwari, Mahalwari, one and the same. In Mahalwari also moneylenders issue. So whenever you come across moneylender, the same is extended to Mahalwari also.
Okay, sir. But no uprising in that northwestern provinces where mahalwari
No,
was prominent.
no such uprising.
Okay, sir. So next class we will have the oral test regarding this whatever you have taught up to 1857. Am I correct, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Shakti?
Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Sir, my doubt is regarding Kittur uprising. I read somewhere that Rani Channamma adopted a son, one son. So due to that, British using a method similar to doctrine of lapse annexed that. But you told British annexed using doctrine of misgovernance.
Yes. Okay, it's an adopted son, yes?
Yes, sir. He was adopted Shivalinga.
Yes. Yeah. Shivalinga Rudra Desai, it would come like this. Yes. Sorry, all changed. 117 members are there. All changed that it is not good governance. Yes, exactly right. I confused with that. It's a doctrine of lapse. And inform to your friends also. Okay.
My another doubt is.
Wait 1 minute. So doctrine of lapse, please all change it because adopted son is the right. Yes. Next.
Sir, my another doubt is Ambedkar's political party name is Independent Labour Party or Free Labour Party, sir?
One and the same. Independent Labour Party or Free Labour Party. In some book it's given Independent Labour Party. In some book it's given Free Labour Party.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Vignesh.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Vignesh.
Sir, I have a doubt regarding the last class, sir. You told us about the Westernist movement, sir. Yeah, you mentioned about the Young Bengal movement by Henry Vivian Tarasio, but we didn't discuss about it. So will we discuss or we should read from the book, sir?
That's all. What we discussed, Westernist, Young Bengal, that's all over. With that, you have to discuss from NCERT as well as Spectrum book. Only one page, one and a half.
Okay, sir.
I'll do that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Srivatsan.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, why didn't the British keep a check on moneylenders, sir? You said that they had a check on everyone except the moneylenders. Why, sir? Why the British had left moneylenders as such, sir? They didn't have any control because can be due to the cooperation between the British and moneylenders. Can we take like that, sir?
Yeah. We can take like that also. And otherwise, such a concept might have not arisen at the time because checking moneylender is now RBI and the government of India is doing of whatever the rent you have to interest you have to give. But in those time, such a banking financial institution were in nascent stage, government would have considered that controlling them is unnecessary. One interpretation. Second interpretation, what you said is right.
My another doubt is, sir, early reform movements like Brahmo Samaj, Arya Samaj and all focused only on Hinduism and Islam's problem. Why didn't they focus on tribal superstitions? They didn't focus on the tribal people's problem. They too had the superstition problem, but they didn't focus on what could be the reason, sir?
No, actually, a leader should come from the tribe to rectify the tribal issue. A non-tribal person cannot enter into tribal area to change it. They would never accept. and British Raj, early Raj was in Calcutta. So Calcutta, why even if you see many are in Calcutta means British capital, many British settled. So many British impact in Calcutta, Bombay, Madras likewise. That's why it is against the British or for the British such movements were started by non-tribal leader. If tribal movement should have happened means socio-religious reform tribal movement, it should be done by the tribal leader. But British impact in tribes when compared to non-tribes was somewhat less. That's why no such movement in tribes.
Sir, could that be the reason why the tribal people were more reform movement in that time? Could that be the reason for their present state? Sir?
No. Actually, tribal is also doing good. They have their own things. Advancement mean you don't confuse with they should buy car, they should do cell phone. That is not the only advancement. Culturally, they were much advanced, but not materially. Okay. For example, if Raja Ram Mohan Rai didn't fight for Sati, even today Sati is accepted in Hinduism. We would consider Sati is our culture. Would consider us it is our culture. Am I right?
Yes.
So likewise, here what is socio-religious reform movement? What happened 200 years before? Now we accept as a socio-religious reform movement, and we consider we uplifted. Upliftment means not necessarily to be that. Even if Raja Ram Mohan Rai didn't remove Sati, even today is also Sati accepted. Likewise.
Okay.
So the differences
That's
are.
all. Thank you, sir.
Hello. Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, Kailash.
Sir, this is Rubesh.
Rupesh. Okay. Rupesh. Yes, Rupesh.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. Sir, you said Ambedkar started All India Scheduled Caste Association, sir. Is that it is the first All India Association for scheduled caste? Then when was actually all the caste has been categorized in scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, sir?
As per 1931 census or 1921 census, first time the concept of caste census was taken. As known as my knowledge, 1921 or 30.
It was based on scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, sir.
Scheduled caste, scheduled tribes was actually done by British, not after independence.
After that only Ambedkar started All India Scheduled Caste Association, sir.
Yes, exactly. Because Ambedkar lived up to 1957, he might have started after these kinds. Scheduled caste, the concepts of scheduled caste after such a census mean definitely should have started after this kind of census and after usage of such a words terms.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Kailash.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, Kailash.
Sir, actually, Dalit is the name given by the Ambedkar to those low caste people, sir.
Yeah.
He itself given that name, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Then what's the meaning of polygar, sir?
What is the meaning of?
Polygar.
In Tamil Nadu,
Yes,
Tamil Nadu it's called Palayakarar. In English, they are called Palikars.
Head of the district, sir?
No, they ruled the area up to the district level. They are not head of the district. They are the head of the area. It's not collector wise.
Okay, sir.
They are the small ruler, ruled not more than a district level. As of present day district level area.
ஓகே சார். அதுக்கப்புறம் அந்த மேப் சொன்னீங்களே சார், அந்த ட்ரைபல் பீப்புள்ஸ் இந்த இடத்தெல்லாம் லாஸ் ஆயிடுச்சு அவங்க கல்ச்சர்னு. அந்த மேப்ல நம்ம வந்து எல்லாமே லொகேஷன் மட்டும் அந்த மேப்ல போட்டா எழுதினா போறோம்ல சார், இல்ல அவங்களோட அந்த லீடர்ஸ் நான் எழுதணுமா சார் மேப்ல?
Compulsory, you have to write the leader's name. Map it.
Leader's name also, sir?
At least 4 to 5.
Okay, sir. அப்புறம்
மென்ஷன் பண்ணிருக்கேன். இன்னொன்று 2 ஏதாவது பார்த்து எழுதிருங்க.
சரி, ஓகே சார். அதுக்கப்புறம் நேற்று அந்த அலிகார்க் மூவ்மெண்ட் நடத்துனீங்களா சார்? அந்த அலிகர்க் மூமெண்ட்லயும் சரி, அந்த டியோபென் மூமெண்ட்லயும் சரி, ஸ்பெக்ட்ரம்ல எக்கச்சக்கமா சொல்லியிருக்காங்க சார். அவங்க லீடர் அதுக்கு அடுத்து வந்தாங்க, அதுக்கு அடுத்து அந்த லீடர் வந்தாங்க, அதெல்லாம் மென்ஷன் பண்ணுமா சார்?
அதெல்லாம் வேண்டாம், கான்செப்ட் போதும், லீடர் வேண்டாம், லீடர் எல்லாம் மனப்படம் வேண்டாம்.
சரி, அப்ப நீங்க சொன்னீங்க அந்த பாயிண்ட்ஸ் மட்டும் எதனாலே போறோம்ல சார்?
எஸ்.
ஓகே ஓகே சார், தேங்க்யூ சார்.
ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ.